one of my interns, we were chatting before, and his curiosity when we were kind of chatting about what you and I would talk about tonight, I also thought, hey, what a great question. Where do you think this kind of originates? Is this gender dysphoria specifically? Do you think it's just something individuals are born with? Are there certain factors that can compound the development of like a young mind to experience this dysphoria? I'm sure there's a spectrum to this answer too, but could you give kind of some answers for the audience as well tonight?
Totally. It's such an interesting question because, gender, as we know, is a social construct in the sense of like, society has an idea of what men are, society has an idea of women are, and people are kind of expected to follow that. But we don't have any idea of what non-binary people are supposed to look like. And I'm non-binary. There's no notion of what that role or what a person who is non-binary is supposed to look like. So what were to happen if there were never any gender roles? There was never this idea of man and woman or non-binary. There was just nothing. So then people didn't have to dress a certain way. People didn't have to act a certain way. People didn't have to get married. People didn't have to reproduce necessarily. I think what you might find is that gender dysphoria probably still exists, but it's far less prevalent because you're not giving people day one the idea you have to act and look like this. So I think that, it would be far less prevalent, but you may still find that people, that maybe one day they decide, hey, the parts that I have on my body, they're not for me.